President Donald Trump fires his Attorney General Pam Bondi. Now a Long Islander could be on the top of the list to be her replacement. Hello, I'm Doug Geed. We'll have more on that story in just a moment. First, though, prosecutors say a Selden man had enough fentanyl to kill more than 2 million people.
The fentanyl was partially mixed with xylazine, which is known as tranq. Xylazine is often mixed with other drugs to dilute the product and increase the dealer's profits.
Philip Gonzalez was indicted on 25 counts, including operating as a major drug trafficker. Authorities say the 42-year-old sold drugs, which resulted in an overdose death. If convicted, Gonzalez could get between 15 years and life in prison. And a man from Lawrence has pleaded not guilty to attempted murder for a crossbow attack that nearly killed his sister.
It was a very deep gash across the ear and the cheek, and she had to have layers of stitching to close the wounds.
Now here's a picture of the weapon that authorities say Sami Sedham used to shoot his sister back in February. Prosecutors say the two were arguing over what temperature to keep the house at. The 21-year-old due back in court at the end of the month. And first in Newsday, the entire list of people in Nassau County Executive Bruce Blakeman's controversial armed civilian deputy program has been made public. Nearly 6 people are on the list. Blakeman created the program, saying that the deputies would help police in case of emergencies. But Democrats sued, claiming that Blakeman overstepped his authority setting that up. To see the names of all the special deputies and what their backgrounds are, you can click Get More below the NewsdayTV video box on our homepage. A former Cy Young Award winner will be taking the mound for the Long Island Ducks. Trevor Bauer has signed with the team. Now, the 35-year-old played in the major leagues but was suspended for violating the league's domestic violence, sexual assault, and child abuse policy. Bauer was never charged with a crime. He's been playing for teams in Japan and Mexico since his suspension. All right, let's take a quick check at our weather forecast for tomorrow. You see clouds throughout the day, starting off cold. Early start at 41 degrees, but then getting somewhat mild in the mid-50s. We'll check out that 7-day forecast for you in a little bit. Former Long Island Congressman Lee Selden, who's currently heading the Environmental Protection Agency, may be topping the list to replace former U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi. Newsday White House correspondent Laura Figueroa Hernandez looks at the firing and why Selden may be Trump's first choice.
After months of speculation about Attorney General Pam Bondi and her standing with President Trump himself announced that he was letting her go. He was replacing her. Right now, he's temporarily replacing her with her deputy, Todd Blanche, who served as the president's former personal attorney. But again, there's a lot of speculation and talk that EPA Administrator Lee Selden, a former Long Island congressman, is top on the list to replace Bondi. He's been a long-time Trump ally since his first term. He served as one of Trump's impeachment managers during the 2019 impeachment effort against President Trump. He's long been kind of a pit bull in Trump's corner, always talking him up, always defending him. And I think that's kind of what Trump is looking for in this AG position.
And again, the interim Attorney General, Todd Blanche, is also from Long Island. The former federal prosecutor previously worked as President Trump's criminal defense attorney.
Gambling is big business, and lately betting apps have made it easy to place wagers instantly, chase losses, and keep gambling. And that is helping to fuel addiction. Doug Geed takes a look at the toll the habit is taking on some Long Islanders.
You don't win in gambling ever, right? Especially as a compulsive gambler. When you do win, it's just just a loan for a future loss, right?
I'm in $15,000 of debt right now. Probably lost over $100,000 in my gambling time.
Their stories are shocking, compelling, and unfortunately all too common in the world of compulsive gambling.
Every dollar I could get my hands on, I was gambling.
Ben is 21 years old. He started gambling heavily at 16.
I had 9 apps where I would get an advance on my paycheck. By the age of 19, 20, have all my credit cards maxed out. I had 2 loans.
I've never been addicted to drugs. I'm not a drinker. This was my high.
Meanwhile, Rob's compulsive gambling surfaced much later in life. He was 56 when his addiction took control of him.
The reality of it is, it's not about the money. It really isn't. It's about the rush.
For the state, though, many say it is all about the money. Since online sports betting was legalized in 2021, New York has collected nearly $4 billion in tax revenues. Last year alone, Albany received $1.3 billion. And those numbers may continue to grow. Online gamblers in New York set a national record in 2025, placing $26 billion worth of bets.
The online stuff is a big problem. It's just there 24/7 on my phone. I can do it from the comfort of my own home, from the bathroom, from my office.
Vinny, along with Ben and Rob, are all members of Gamblers Anonymous. They credit the 12-step program with ending the nightmare they were living. They also say since online betting was legalized, the number of people at their group's weekly meetings have increased 4 or 5 times, with the bulk of newcomers in their 20s.
Somebody's always out of money, and very quickly, that would be a big red flag.
Heiko Ganzer is a clinical social worker who treats all kinds of addictions, including gambling.
It can be beat, and the success rate can be very high. But if you're going to do it on yourself, it's just not generally going to happen.
Rob agrees, saying one of the main reasons Gamblers Anonymous is so successful is people sharing their stories and offering support to one another.
To quote somebody in the program, when they hold up their phone and they go, "This is the devil, and the apps are the devil's crack."
Joining me now to talk more about this growing problem is Newsday TV's Doug Geed and clinical social worker and counselor Heiko Ganzer. Thank you both for being here. We appreciate your time on this topic. Doug, we want to start with you. What did you uncover in your reporting on this topic?
I think 2 things jumped out at me, Macy. Number one, and this is really why I wanted to do this project, I don't think there's very little attention on this issue. I think people don't realize there is such a thing as gambling addiction. You know, alcoholism, drug addiction, huge issues, obviously, that destroy lives, get a lot of attention. Gambling, not so much. And I wonder if there's, I guess sympathy is the right word, if there's any empathy for people who have a gambling addiction. For alcoholics, people with drug addictions, I think people get it more like, okay, there's a chemical dependency there. With gambling, I think the attitude might be, well, just stop losing money. So that I took away from, and that message has to get out there too, that it is a very serious disorder.
Yeah, I think some people, maybe you just don't see it often. It's easier to hide. So we'll talk about that. Heiko, we want to get over to you. You help people struggling with gambling addiction. Sounds like there's some growing concern about youth gambling skyrocketing because of these betting apps just really making it so easy, so accessible.
Youth gambling has increased substantially over the years that I've been working with this, and I've been working in the area of gambling. We know that if a person gambles before the age of 14, that the likelihood of them becoming a problem gambler is higher. That's an important factor. And so, you know, you look at the phones, moms and dads, don't be afraid to look at your kids' phones.
So Doug, you spoke to a couple people who have been dealing with this addiction issue, including a young man. Was it difficult to get people to open up about this problem?
It was, yeah. I thought this project would take me a couple weeks. It's more like 6 or 7 weeks. I went through Long Island Gamblers Anonymous, phenomenal group. We only use first names, so Rob was an enormous help. He did find the 2 people you saw, the silhouetted interviews. That took a while to get them to come forward, and of course they wanted, you know, not to be identified. Finding that person willing to speak on camera, that was the holdup. And I really tried to get a woman too, because I think people with gambling addiction, you know, they think of the cigar chomping guy who goes to the racetracks all the time.
Sure.
But women, are subject to this as well.
Heiko, what are some of the treatments that you've seen work for an issue like this, and what are the success rates? Are we seeing improvement, help for these people dealing with this?
Certainly the 12 steps and going to a meeting and getting support from other people who have the same problem is the first and the most prominent modality that is helpful to the gamblers.
Okay.
Then we have other types of issues that we can use to help, depending on the person and what's happened to them in the past. For example, cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. You can sort of help to change distorted thinking and develop problem-solving skills.
Doug, you spoke to a couple of people, as we mentioned, heard their stories. Was there anything that stuck out to you?
They're all very, very impactful. Probably Ben, the young man, 21 years old, he is 8 years younger than my youngest child. So I just kept looking at him as if he was my son. 21 years old, started gambling at 16, got great grades all throughout school, head of the student council, coach of the soccer team, and his life was virtually destroyed. But the resilience and his attitude now was just very uplifting. And he talks about how, all of them are walking right on the edge of a cliff where their whole life could be destroyed. But his attitude was very impactful to me.
An important thing to mention for sure as we're talking about how this is a problem affecting a lot more people, and not just the addicts themselves, their friends, their families. So Doug and Heiko, thank you both for being here to discuss this important topic. We appreciate your time on this. You can read more about gambling addiction on Long Island and find resources to get help on our website, newsday.com.
Newsday Sports is brought to you by Sun Nation Energy, helping Long Island homes and businesses save with solar for over 20 years.
Well, tomorrow is opening day at Yankee Stadium. On top of seeing the Bronx Bombers on the field, fans will also be seeing some new food choices. Jared Veluzzi has a preview of the new bites in the Bronx.
Welcome to the 2026 Yankee Stadium Concessions Preview.
Living up to the hype and even more. Yankee Stadium has released their new food menu for 2026. Some classic stadium staples are back for this season, but also some new items as well. Let's check it out.
We are so excited to be at Yankee Stadium. This is a dream come true for us. It's a Rice Krispie treat. We're a local New York City brand, so it's pretty exciting. I had tears in my eyes when we found out that we were actually going to be here.
Brand new from Legends Global is the MVP burger. Multiple different types of onions, bacon, cheese. I know what I'm getting in the 7th inning stretch. We have the Bird Dog 2.0 from Street Bird. It's chicken, it's a hot dog. I'm so excited to take a bite of this. Let's go.
Think about this, like a sticky, beautiful fried chicken glazed with some smoky barbecue and some bacon. Absolutely delicious.
Christian Petroni's Farm to the Table also delivers some excellent dessert. We have some affogato here, Mr. Softy Vanilla with Nutella and espresso.
I have the Mr. Softy theme song like ingrained in my head. But to be making good coffee in a mocha pot, putting it over the Mr. Softy soft serve, a little bit of Nutella. I mean, come on, what are we really doing here?
So many incredible options here at Yankee Stadium. For Newsday TV, I'm Jared Veluzzi.
And here's what's up on Long Island. You can have Easter fun for the whole family at Old Westbury Gardens. It's holding an Easter egg hunt Saturday for kids aged 3 to 6. They can also listen to a reading of the classic tale, Peter Rabbit. Reservations are required for that. You can see classic cars and vintage rides in Garden City. An Easter car parade rolls down Franklin Avenue on Sunday afternoon. And the familiar sound of Foreigner, a tribute band, Double Vision, takes the stage at the Suffolk Theater in Riverhead Friday night at 8. All right, let's take a look at that 7-day forecast now. And you see lots of clouds on your Good Friday there. Pretty mild, 56. Even milder on Saturday, 64. Unfortunately, rain still being forecast for Easter Sunday. Sun returns for most of the next week with temperatures hovering around the middle 40s up to the middle 50s.
Long Island weather is brought to you by Fire Island Ferries.
And for more on the stories you've seen today, head over to Newsday.com. You can click Get More under the Newsday TV video box. I'm Doug Geed. Thanks for joining us. More Long Island news straight ahead.
There's more to Long Island than you know when you picture this. Join Macy Egland for a journey through some of the major moments in Long Island's past through the lens of the Newsday archives. Picture This, available now at Newsday.com/picture this.